Now, I'm a big fan on just memorizing a few questions and teaching your people simple questions. In fact, my favorite question that I start everybody out in onboarding with is on the back of their badge. I have the question, how can I help? There for ready reference. And when they come to me tattling and venting and scorekeeping, I go, time out. And the way I call a timeout is I call them up to greatness by making some aspirational statement. I go, whoa, I am thrilled you're in my office sharing your love and concern about our colleagues in IT. From what you're telling me, the conversion didn't go as planned. See, the way we call people to greatness is just repeating back to them what they're saying, but removing all the drama, the adjectives, the story, so that they can just center in on, here's the reality. And then I follow with, what did you do to help? And most people will say things like, I'm coming to you. And I let them know that's not that helpful. What did they do to help? What they're doing coming to me is forming a drama triangle, but that's not helpful. What did you do to help? And a lot of times when they've said nothing yet, I go, great, it's simple. Bring your question. Who were you mad at? Karen? Awesome. Let's go find her. Karen, Tammy is just in my office sharing love and concern about how the conversion went. Sounds like your team had a tough time this weekend. She has a question for you. Go ahead, Tammy. How can I help? Karen had answers. We need to get really clear that judging behavior is anti-team behavior. And that teamwork isn't about liking each other or feeling comfortable with each other. In today's moving world, we aren't ever going to be able to like who we work with all the time or feel comfortable. We may never even see them again. We may have never met them. I've written entire books with editors I've never met. They live in a whole different country and time zone. But we've got to get clear that judging is not a good mental process, and that helping always toggles us up, because you can't judge and help at the same time. It's an instant toggle switch. And we've got to insist that people use this, and we've got to role model people using this, but we've got to clean up our own world first. The one I love the most, where you can start to have the most impact, is the question, what do I know for sure? And this one helps people start to identify how often they're getting played by their ego. When I start to believe everything I think, I believe suffering's mandatory, because if you lived in this world, you would be suffering too. Someone cut me off in traffic. Well, if they did that to you, you would be suffering. My suffering's not optional. Everybody would suffer in these circumstances. But if I get down to what do I know for sure, I realize that he simply moved into my lane, giving me less distance and space than I prefer. And that's when I realized that suffering was self-imposed from my story, not my reality. See, when we're in low self, we're full of story and assignment of motive and justification and assumption, and we're really justifying and seeing the world through our ego. But what we find out when we start to edit our stories, another tool that will be in your toolkit, when we start to edit our stories, all the things we're upset about fall away. How can you be upset and flipping people off about someone who simply moved into your lane with less distance than you prefer? You didn't crash. Nothing happened. You just didn't have the space you prefer. Is flipping somebody off really the most appropriate response to someone crowding your space with no negative consequence? See, when we start to inquire, these things fall away. One of my most famous moments I talk about a lot, when I was doing my drama research and I was teaching people how to use these questions, is I realized in a minute how quickly I can believe everything I think. I was on a beautiful hike with some incredible leaders. The view was spectacular. I'm on top of the mountain and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. This is what I was born for. I can't believe they pay me to do this job. I would do it for free. I turned to walk away, and up on the path, there's something squiggly. I love this job. I can't believe they paid me to do it. They don't pay me enough to do this job. With a single thought, when I saw squiggly snake, my entire reality changed, but you get my reality didn't change. But my reality changed. I started to hyperventilate. I had major organ system shutting down. I now see my death before my eyes. This is how it ends. So I get bit by a venomous snake. We're 3 hours by helicopter from the nearest medical center. That's how I die. And I'm like, panicked. I got to come up with a plan. And I can't access all of my intelligence. All I can access is my most primitive intelligence. A John Wayne movie I saw when I was little. It's all I remember. He got bit by a snake, took out his pocket knife, cut an X in his hand, sucked his blood, spit it out, saved his life. I am trained as a medical first responder, and that's all I can remember because I'm toggled down. But I'm ready. I have my hand on my pocket knife. I'm ready to cut an X in my ankle and suck my own ankle until I play that out and realize I can't reach my ankle. I'm probably going to die. And I'm grasping. I'm panicked. I wonder if the guy from Google will suck my ankle in an emergency. Like, I'm burning calories. Burning calories. I get up to the snake, and it is a rope off someone's saddlebag. Now, you tell me what caused my panic, my concern, my stress, my calorie consumption, that all concerning rope, or my thinking, my believing my thinking and jumping in with all feet without inquiry, without asking myself, what do I know for sure? I just jumped in with my story. So it was my story, not my reality, that caused my stress. And I would tell you, every day in your people's world, it is their story, not their reality, that causes them stress. This one question, what do I know for sure, can change everything without changing anything.